Well, that intro didn't age well.
What are you talking about? That's Damian Lillard back-to-back three-point contest champion right there. Joe Fisher, Rashad Taylor, Will Order sitting in for Jordan
Big
Schultz
Willie
today.
style.
Big Willie style. Young Will.
What's up?
What's up, dude? Jordan Schultz is out. He's out on the East Coast in Boston for a wedding. But what are you talking about? Didn't age well. He's still making three-pointers in a format where it doesn't matter. But
Are we putting Milwaukee Bucks highlights up here? That's what we're doing now?
well, that's
where we're at?
like 75% of Trailblazer fans right now.
It'd probably be better to start
Is there
putting
Milwaukee Buck fans now?
Yeah, it might be better to actually start putting up some Bucks highlights or any other team's highlights in the Blazers right now.
Go get your ring, Dame, and then come home back to Portland and don't win a ring. Because we don't want a ring?
No, I don't know. We'll talk about that at a different time. But actually, no, we can talk about that now because I'm not sure if you saw Dame had an interview over the All-Star weekend, and it was he and Trae Young, and I can't remember the venue in which they were being interviewed, but Dame was asked the question about ring culture.
Oh yeah, I saw the Bleacher Report notification.
I think it was from Bleacher Report. Yeah,
it came up, and then I was. And then I just continued living my life.
Yeah, and it was, kind of what he's been saying and everything. He's like, rings aren't everything and everything. I was like, yeah, I don't want to hear that from you now. Can't hear that from you now because the way you went out, clearly rings are important. And then at the end of it, he was like, but as soon as I get my ring, I'm going to be talking about people the same way. And mind you, he was being tongue-in-cheek, but I believe him. I think as soon as he gets his ring, he's going to be talking about all the bum-ass losers that didn't get one. Dude sucks, man. Trash.
Does he wait till after his career to just hype up his three-point contest wins?
Yes. I don't think you can say anything about that until you get a championship win. And then you can say, man, I won a three-point contest twice in a row. Come on, get out of here.
Last night was the All-Star Saturday, and we'll get into that a little bit more. But I'm not happy. I'm pissed, to say the least, about what happened on Super Bowl Sunday. Not the result. I'm happy that the Chiefs won.
Oh, about your betting lines?
I cannot believe we ended up tying on Who Do You Love? Because you literally took Ludacris to show up at halftime.
I wasn't going to say anything.
And then I chose orange Gatorade, and then it ended up being purple Gatorade, which I had mentioned in the show. I was like, oh, man, I really like purple Gatorade. That's one of my favorites.
Hey, Fierce Melon or Fierce Grape? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the Fierce Grape anymore.
They don't. Fierce Melon's still my ish, but
Fierce Melon
they were called
really
Fierce Melon and Fierce Grape.
Yeah, I believe
I just called it purple, green, red, blue.
So what color was Fierce Melon? It's like a pink almost or something like that. But yeah, it's my favorite. It tastes just like cantaloupe.
Yeah, honestly, it was pretty damn good. Oh, it looks like you can buy an 8-count, 20-ounce of Fierce Grape on Walmart.com. Shout out to Walmart for
very few good grape like sports drinks.
I want that
sports
purple
drinks are
stuff.
I'm pro purple anything. Like any kind of grape, any kind of sports drink that has purple in it. I feel like Powerade makes a good one. I feel like Gatorade makes a good one. I feel like you can go I've never found a purple that I've gone, that was gross.
Oh, you've clearly never had Tampico.
I've never even heard of Tampico. What the hell is Tampico?
Yeah, ones that
I would slam some Tampico back in high school. Get a jug of Tampico. Way too much sugar.
I'm not sure if you've ever had grape drink.
I was going to say, I think this is an age thing because I'm noted for shopping at the dollar store.
Oh, you're bound to find Tampico then. There's a
they're lousy with
there's a
Tampico.
yellow one. The yellow one that kind of looks like Tang, and I guess kind of tastes like Tang a little bit. Yeah. There's a
it's a kick in the glass.
There's a blue one, like a light blue one, that I don't advise ever drinking.
Don't try it.
Yeah, but it might be a good mixer for some stuff. But yeah, Tampico.
Yeah, it might be good for your Borg or something, right?
But Borg is all Mio and Kool-Aid.
Water, Kool-Aid, and liquor.
Kool-Aid is still
That's basically that
still
purple
a one
stuff.
seed.
Oh,
Kool-Aid's still a 1 seed.
Easy. I haven't Borged in forever.
Yeah, I'm not happy, though. I did not hit on my 49ers. See, I was trying to be all unbiased and objective and take the 49ers pure talent basis, and they went and S the bed. I took a Pacheco anytime touchdown, didn't hit that. Orange Gatorade, didn't hit that. Rashad went a clean 3-0, taking the Chiefs. Ludacris appearing at halftime. And Kelsey under 11 receptions, which you might have been.
He had 10?
I think he
did he have 9? Oh, I thought he was close to it.
He had 1 in the first half and then 8 in the second half.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever.
At a point, like once I saw that Ludacris was there, I was like, oh, okay, I got that one. But at everything else, I honestly couldn't remember a lot of lines. But we're gonna talk about the game, right? I mean, I don't know if that's a thing or not today. It's been like a week, so is that like a? I mean, we were a show called Football Sunday.
We're no more.
We're not anymore.
Football season's dead. It's over. It was kind
football season's never over.
It was kind of. It was fun this weekend, like tuning back into all the other sports. Like I got the Genesis Open on the TV
is that what
right
this
now.
is?
Yeah, this is Tiger's tournament that he had to withdraw from because he had a case of the bubble guts on Friday.
Been there.
Everybody
BGs will make you withdraw from some
well,
stuff.
I think it was also like the fact that his body is like broken.
Well, Tiger's an old dude now. Like
dude. Did you see his? I don't want to say the word out loud because you're not supposed to as a golfer, but I'm going to. Did you see his shank on Thursday? Jump on Twitter or whatever.
Just like me.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw that, I was like, what the hell? I'm not playing at the Genesis this weekend. How'd they get this video of me? But yeah, Tiger, he shanked the shot on Thursday, I want to say, like dead right into some trees. And it was just like, oh, buddy, oh, baby, what are you doing? It did not look good.
What is you doing?
Yeah. And then immediately had a save from said shank shot that put him on the green that I would have never been able to pull off in my life. So it was nice, like, oh, look, he golfs like one of us. Immediately following up with like, oh, okay, no, he doesn't. But it was sad. And then he showed up. Yeah, you're seeing it now?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's not good.
Oh, geez. Heads up.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, floor. Yeah, it was not good. Poor guy. And then he showed up on Friday with some In-N-Out. There's pictures of him going around that he showed up to the course with an In-N-Out. I don't know if it was a 2x2 animal style or.
Sounds like it went in and out quick too.
Yeah, that's the reason for them BGs.
Yeah, so he withdrew from the tournament on Friday, and then last night I was watching the All-Star Game festivities. And then threw on the UFC 298 as soon as that ended and caught the last 3 fights of that. So it was kind of like one of those moments where I'm like, oh, yeah, there is other things besides football out there. That's right. I think we're going to be okay is what I felt.
Yeah, it's crazy to think how much football really consumes us.
It's wild.
It's one. I mean, and think about it. It's supposed to be just Sunday, but really it's Sunday, it's Monday, it's Thursday. It's Saturday because of college. If you follow high school or have a high school brother or son or whatever the case is, it's Friday nights. Like
there goes your Tuesdays also.
Yeah. I mean, potentially. So it's one of those things. Like football takes up so much, of our time.
You can't get a ref, then you're playing on a Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, man! Let's not get started on youth refs. We need more youth refs, but we need parents to chill out.
Well, I can't
get that part to happen.
I can't tell you being a coach of
guys like you, Joe, that drive the refs away.
No.
People like you.
I bite my tongue a lot, and this was probably the first time yesterday that I did say something to the ref in game about a kid like a moving screen and like a fast break happening and a kid just clearly blocking as if he was an offensive tackle pulling down the line. I did have to say something to the ref. I was like, number 3 is literally pushing a kid out of the way on that last fast break. And I was expecting the T to come my way, but I had it at that point. Things are getting too physical in that league, all right? I'm not happy.
Man,
my
Joe,
Grizzlies...
that referee is a junior in high school.
I know.
Man.
Trust me, he looked 15, 16 at most.
That's what I used to do. That's how I made money in high school. Is I refereed community ed basketball games, and I can't tell you how many times I just gave the little shoe with the finger, the hand,
boy.
just bye.
Yeah,
don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Listen, my Grizzlies, we've lost 2 in a row. We're on a skid. We got 1 game left. We got to redeem ourselves here. It's not looking good. Well, and that's on the coach.
It's about finishing hard, man.
I didn't have my boys ready offensively. All right. Let's be frank. If Joey's not scoring, our team is a little offensively capped, and that's on me. Not getting the guys ready throughout the rest of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You're the dad that you're the coach, but your son is the best player, so all the plays are drawn up for him.
No, not really. We
Here's
don't really
the play,
have.
Guys.
We don't
Let's
really
run ball to Joey.
4.
Get the ball to the Italians.
Yeah.
No, it's tough. It's like you don't know if you want to run plays in 5th, 6th grade basketball because usually when you say, all right, run this play, it doesn't work.
No.
The kids don't remember how to run the play.
No.
And it just turns into a jumbled mess.
Yeah, with kids, you have to keep it simple. You have to have, I have 3 plays that we run, and most of them are just screen down, screen away plays, screen across, something very, very easy. You stand here, you go here. If the ball's on this side, who's going to go? And then make it a game for them. Kids I'm not going to give them, there's some, there's a big President's Day tournament that's happening around here. And there are some, it's mostly middle school, but there are some younger kids, some 4th and 5th graders that are playing in these tournaments. And coaches are calling, triangles and, and all the time, these kids some of them are advanced and can get it, but there are a lot of them that were just kind of running around like chickens with their head cut off because they're 10 and you're trying to teach them, the triangle, which probably isn't going to work very well today.
You're telling me there aren't no Kobe's and Shaqs and Rick Foxes out there?
They're out there. Yeah, they're definitely out. There's definitely some Shaqs. And I'm like, that kid's not a 5th grader at all, which I feel bad about because I wasn't a tall 5th grader. And Will, you were probably ginormous in 5th grade.
I had a big growth spurt, then I stopped, then I had another one.
Yeah. So, around that time when you're the big kid, everybody wants you on their team for stuff, even if you're trash. And so there are a lot of big trash 5th graders out there over the last little bit, but they're big. Maybe they'll be cold.
I'll tell you right now, if you are a 5th grader listening to this show and you are big right now, but your dad is small, start dribbling the basketball. Learn the guard skills because you're not going to grow.
Learn how to hoop.
You're not going to get lucky. Learn the guard skills.
Hey, shout out to my boy Sawyer on the team yesterday. He's one of our bigger kids. The boy's got handles, and he carried the team offensively yesterday. Shout out to Sawyer because I was proud of him because he was the only one on the offense that looked like he was able to do anything consistently yesterday. And I'm gonna tell him that it's bro, keep working on the dribbles, keep working on the shot. If you keep growing at this rate, you're going to be a quote-unquote big man, but be a versatile big man. Be that stretch four. Be that Dirk.
That's the thing, that you have to know how to dribble. As long as kids know how to dribble, everything else will come pretty easily after that.
If you're tall at 5th grade, but dad's 5'8", you're not going to be too tall, buddy.
You're going to be 5'10".
Learn to dribble. Learn to dribble. There's few exceptions. I'm one of them. There aren't many of us. Learn to dribble.
Yeah, Joey, rough game offensively. What he needs to work on is off ball, being that off ball player, because he's been running point most this year. But if he can start learning how to get open off the screen, cut to the hoop a little bit, get the ball past him and then get a shot off.
Wants to make a move. Give me the ball so I can make a move.
Yeah. But he's got to get that game more versatile. Okay, enough about 5th, 6th grade basketball. I know that you want the whole hour and a half on this. By the way, we're only on air for an hour and a half because...
Tell them why.
Well, it's not even happening today, right? The Daytona 500 was supposed to be broadcast right here on 1080 The Fan. It will be on 1080 The Fan, but not today. Tomorrow, because it got rained out today.
But we still got to leave.
But we still
half hour early.
Hey, programming is set. All right. The playlist was loaded. It's too late.
That's trash.
You can chime in on the show today on the Vancouver Ford text line. All texts of fan are via the Vancouver Ford text line. Your dollar goes further at Vancouver Ford. They treat you right before, during, and after the sale. Visit VancouverFord.com. 503-864-6FAN. 503-864-6326. Someone chiming in now. Any hot Dolphins talk? We might get into maybe some Dolphins talk. Rank the porpoises out there. I like spinner dolphins. Those are pretty cool when they jump out of the air and they spin, like do a couple 360s.
Yeah. I liked Flipper.
Yeah, Flipper was a solid movie.
It's a solid. I used to watch the show when it came on Nick at Night, like 3 a.m. and stuff like that, and I just find myself up as a 10-year-old, 9-year-old.
Flipper, all-time Dolphin, top 3.
I think so. Snowflake.
Is that the one from Ace Ventura?
Yeah. Absolutely. Snowflake was kicking field goals, bro. Snowflake had the Dolphins in the Super Bowl for the first time since the 70s. So.
Maybe Marino would have won it if he had Snowflake out there instead of Finkel.
No, and that's crazy. Like even in fictitious movies, the Dolphins can't win a Super Bowl. That's crazy.
All right, we had the All-Star. We're at the All-Star break, rather. We had All-Star Saturday, so we'll get into some of that. We'll talk about some Blazers at the break. We are at the quote-unquote halfway season, even though mathematically we've played more than half the games. I think we're at like the 2/3 mark of the season.
Yeah, let's call it the week after the Super Bowl, the post-Super Bowl break.
So we had some All-Star festivities. We got to make a commentating change, I think, at the All-Star Saturday as well. And in the second hour, I want to get into some college basketball. And then... I thought that we finished the show because it's Daytona 500 weekend. What other sporting events do we not care about anymore? Because I felt like I used to care about NASCAR and racing. And
did you?
Yeah, back in the day.
Sherwood, so yeah.
Oh, dude, my one of my best friends growing up, his dad was a big Dale Earnhardt household, like big Dale Earnhardt household. Memorabilia all over the place. It was wild. So let's get it going. Let's talk some Blazers at the break. What do we have to care about the rest of this season? Do that next year. Sports Sunday. It's back right here. 1080 The Fan. halfway season of the NBA season. And the Portland Trailblazers sit at 15-39. Dear God. By the way, after that Milwaukee Bucks game, you know, the win that was supposed to kind of turn the tide of this season, that was a game-changing win for this Blazers team. This young squad could galvanize them. We beat a pretty damn good team. Dame in his return to Portland. That's right. We're all right. We don't need you. Well, they've lost 6 straight to end the season. Lost twice to the Nuggets. Lost to the Pistons after you were up by like 26.
20-something. Yeah, it was a big lumber.
Nice. Lost to the Pelicans, putting up only 84 points, and then lost back-to-back games to the Timberwolves, where the second one was just as worse as the first one. Scoot started, though, and then they immediately fell down by 30 points. So I got some numbers here for you. Again, like, none of these numbers aren't going to be really shocking because they just reinforce that the Blazers are bad. But the Blazers are 29th on offense, last in the league in effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage, 5th in offensive rebound rate. Hey, there we go. We're missing a lot of shots and getting the rebounds, I guess.
We're getting second and third chances, so that's good.
Worst half-court offense in the league. That is wonderful. Set offensive pieces. It sounds like my Grizzlies right now. My Newburgh Grizzlies. We are just atrocious in the half court. Bottom 3 in the league in transition frequency. Second to last in assist percentage. That kind of sounds like the Blazers over the last 10 years, quite frankly. Blazers on defense, 24th on defense, bottom 3rd in effective field goal percentage on defense, bottom 5 in the league in foul rate, terrible defensive rebounding, started season 1st in forcing turnovers, dropped to 4th, and press more than any other team, switch everything pretty aggressively. So the Blazers are cheeks. They're straight cheeks. And I don't know if Scoot is enough to keep me engaged with the rest of the season. Like, I just, and listen, a lot of this is personal. Like, I'm just sick of seeing my teams lose and embarrass themselves and lose. And even if they're a good team, they get themselves to a really important point in the season, whether it be a playoff game or a Pac-12 championship game, and you lose. So having a team like the Blazers right now, which I get it, they're young, we knew they were going to suck, but like the development of Scoot even, it's just like, you know what? We'll see how that is after the offseason, and I'll check in with you guys next year because he has been playing better. But it's the thing that's killed me about this Blazers season too is that we haven't had all of our horses like at any point in this season. Shaedon has played, 30 total games? And it seems like every night there's 3 or 4 guys sitting. It's going to be a tough sell for me to tune in to any Blazers game the rest of this season. And for the fans out there that are, for the sake of development and wanting to see what these pieces are to trade, like we didn't trade Malcolm Brogdon, and guess what? Gets injured. Now he's out for 2 weeks. That's looking like it's going to work out well. Again, I am a defeated sports fan right now. My heart hurts. My heart hurts for this city. And seeing us root for Dame and the Bucks and rooting for things to happen in other franchises and for development, I'm so sick of it, man.
Well, I'm not hating, but I'm not rooting for Dame. I'm not rooting for the Bucks. I think the Bucks have kind of turned into some busters, low key. Like, if you look at the
you were gonna say stuff, bitches, weren't you?
I was gonna say that, but I don't like to call other grown men, bitches. So
hey, that's a fighting word.
So I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But some busters, I will for sure call them that. We knew it was going to be like this.
I know.
And that's the cold part. Like, we know when you lose a player like Damian Lillard and like CJ McCollum, because the team looks, you went from the highest scoring backcourt in the league, or at least one of the highest scoring backcourts in the league, to you can't figure out a shot in the half court to save your life, So that's a problem. Injuries have been an issue. Ayton was out for a while at the beginning of the season. Shaedon was out for some time. Anthony missed almost a month of basketball in between there. Like, So you haven't had that consistency, like you said, as far as having all of your guys at one time. I don't want to keep doing it, but like Chauncey Billups has to take some responsibility for how bad they are, because that's what you do, right? You teach defense. That's why you were hired. The Blazers have never had a problem historically scoring the ball. That wasn't their issue. Their issue was they couldn't stop the chairs that we're sitting in right now. Like, so you had two and really great guards that could score the ball from anywhere on the floor, but neither one of those guys could stop a nosebleed, and so you had all this great interior talent. Because Nurkic offensively can be a huge asset for you, but nobody that could protect the rim. Nurkic, Cantor, all those other guys that you had in between there. But now you see you've got the guys that are just talented. I just don't think you have the coach to get them there. And sometimes it's a matter of taking this talent, figuring out the person that's going to be at the helm and saying, all right, man, you run it. And right now, I just don't think that's Chauncey Billups.
I think the best thing, too, though, for Blazer fans is to just watch the young players and see what development you can get out of them. Like, you're going to suck, and you're going to suck probably for 3 more years, right?
And also, I believe they have the 5th hardest schedule the rest of the season. So, hey, throw him to the fire. Like,
exactly.
Scoot just started his first game. Start his ass the rest of the season.
Well, and that's the thing. They started him at the beginning. He struggled. He went to the bench. He earned his right back to being a starter. Those are the things that you have to look at for wins. Because at this point right now, you're at the start of building Rome. And Rome wasn't built in a day. Now, you might get lucky, right? And maybe you'll find another player that fits exactly in with Scoot, with Shaedon, with Ant. And all of a sudden you go from, hey, we're going to have this rebuild, and it's going to take 4 to 5 years to, boom, now we're back at the top. But the way that I look at it is, look at where OKC is right now. They got rid of Westbrook in 17 or 18? I know it was one of my first couple years of college. So 17 or 18, they get rid of him. It took them this long to finally be a legit playoff team. And I don't even think that they're quite yet at the stage of they can go win an NBA title. Now, could they get to the conference finals? I totally think that. But they still have some room to grow. And the way they did it is they got a bunch of young players. They had a couple of veterans that were in there, like a Jeremy Grant, like a Malcolm Brogdon, that helped teach the young kids how to be a pro. And now they are excelling. So you're at the start of this rebuild, and it's going to take some time. Hopefully, Joe Cronin and that front office, they can go in and get the right players around a team to build this team up fast, but it's going to take 4 to 5 years. And right now, you are really on year 1. You might feel like it's year 3 because of all the Dame injuries and getting rid of CJ, a couple of years ago, but really you're on year 1, and it's going to take time. So you have to find the little things that you value, like Scoot going from a player who struggled at the beginning of the year to now you're starting to see him work his way into the starting lineup, and some of the passes that he's making and some of the plays that he's making, they're why you drafted him as high as you did.
And I know we have to break, but that's the part that hurts most, Will, is that this is only year 1 of what feels like been a 4-year slow kind of grind and slow build. And it's like, so again, you lose CJ for nothing, essentially. And then you lose Dame with an injury that year, so you're down. Then you finally get Dame back, and you're just not the same team. And then your star player demands a trade, not request, demands a trade from there, and now you're stuck at what should be year 3 of this rebuild, but now it's a fresh reset. And for me, I don't know if it's a talent thing, because when I'm looking at guys like Shaedon Sharpe, who I think we all think is going to be a stud in this league. We look at guys like Jeremy Grant, who can only get better, if he really gets the opportunity to, like Simons. You've got guys on this team that can put up buckets and give you buckets. I just think at this point it's a leadership thing, and that's where Cronin and Chauncey have to figure something out, or I honestly think it might be time to move forward. It's been 3 years for Chauncey now? Like, at what point, do you say, all right, I think it's time for us to go? And I think it might be time for them to find a head coach that works for these young guys. And right now, I just don't think it's Chauncey. Congratulations to him, although, for being named one of the finalists for the Hall of Fame. That's amazing. I think, or did he get in?
I didn't see what the case was there.
I think the headliners this year were Chauncey and Vince Carter. And so, Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame player, but can he be the coach that he was a player? I don't know. I don't think so.
And I think that, what Blazer fans want to see to end this year is momentum in not so much signs of growth, but signs of like competitiveness and staying with teams. Like that Bucks win gave them the idea that could happen. And then you lose 6 straight. It was like that little stretch in the beginning of January, I want to say, or maybe it was December, but where it was just like you were taking some big losses. Like it was getting really, really ugly there for a moment. Then you were able to beat Brooklyn, you beat the Pacers, you beat the Rockets,
beat some quality teams.
The Rockets in overtime. Like you beat Philly. Granted, they didn't have Embiid that game,
or Maxey.
So again, it's just like the ups and downs of this season have been so drastic that I think what you want to see for this last remaining 30 games or what have you is that at least be competitive. Right. And there's going to be an ugly game or two where you get blown out, but it can't be 6 games in a row of losses. It can't be 7 losses in a row. I mean, this is year 3 of Chauncey, but I mean, if it keeps going this trajectory, I mean, I don't know if you give him a year 4, but I could see Joe and them deciding to do that because it doesn't seem fair to take this team away from him when they're still developing. The one thing I will say to end on a positive note that I feel like we never saw with the previous regime in GM is Joe Cronin and Mike Schmitz, the assistant GM. They were in Australia for All-Star Weekend looking at some prospects over there. Like traveling overseas and looking at players like in person in different countries, I feel like is something that the Blazers never did over the last 10 years.
They're going to be at the top of the draft. They got to start seeing who's available all around the world.
Well, so, and, probably isn't a good idea to go to Australia. Here it's pretty nice down there. Just don't get bitten by some weird snake or spider or something like that, or box jellyfish or something swimming in the ocean. All right, All-Star game, All-Star weekend, All-Star Saturday happened last night. We're going to fix it because it seems like it's a little bit broken. So we're going to try and fix some things about All-Star Saturday. Rashad, Will, and I. We do that next here. Sports Sunday, but Will, Sports Center Update.
purple, man.
Well, yeah, because like the original Four Loko recipe, it was basically a Monster energy drink and then like 12% alcohol.
It was the stuff from Breaking Bad is what that was.
Yeah, well, and they tell this story every freshman orientation at Central Washington. We are the reason that it is not that way anymore because kids bought a keg and they went up to like a cabin in the woods, a keg of Four Loko, and they just drank it all night. And because it was keeping you up, they were still drinking, and they end up having alcohol poisoning. It's a really tragic story, but it's the reason that they changed it. And every single year when you go into a freshman orientation or you go into the, hey, just say no to drugs talk, they bring that story up in the pavilion every time.
Yeah. I just Google Four Loko death, and here you go. 15-year-old. 18-year-old, 17-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what were we doing? What were we doing?
Well, they say like
trying to get lit.
Well, they say like Jaeger bombs are worse for you than like cocaine or something like that. Like for your heart. Like if you're taking a bunch of Jaeger bombs, a lot of guys will do that. Guilty. Because it's got the energy drink and the Jaeger, so it's keeping you up and going, and it can be bad news.
I hope you like pancreatitis. Because
what is that?
I'm pretty sure I heard of a dude that went on a binging night because of that. Because of what did you just say? The Jaeger bombs, yeah, and drinking with Red Bulls, and had to get part of his pancreas removed.
Man, a buddy of mine had pancreatitis, didn't have to get anything removed, but said that it was the worst feeling, the worst pain that he'd ever had. And so just the sight of a drink, the sight of alcohol was like enough to like turn his stomach. Like, oh,
wow.
Ugh,
hot pancreas talk here.
We'll see. Here's the thing. The problem is that what a lot of people will do is then drink a bunch of Jaeger bombs. That's not how you do a Jaeger bomb properly. If you don't want to go out, that has to be
this
your
guy
first
Jaeger
drink.
bombs.
Yeah, this guy. Yeah.
Your first.
Tell us how to do it, expert.
If you don't want to go out, your first drink has to be a Jaeger bomb because then it'll get you excited. You're having a good time. You'll hang out with the boys. You go talk to some girls. You need the Jaeger bomb to start. If you are, it's like a Friday. It's getting to like that 10:30, 11 o'clock. You're like, I don't know. Do we keep going out? Do we go find a club? Do we go back home from the dive bar? Then you have a Jaeger bomb. We're going to the club time. That's like, hey, we're going to go out. We're going to dance. We're going to do whatever.
Then you might actually really run into some cocaine there.
Well,
it's quite.
That's not what I
love
do.
the smell of your car keys.
Got to be honest, guys. Like the only time I've ever had a Jaeger bomb is when I'm with my friends who don't identify as black. And so that's one of those things. I've never been at the homies party. It's like, who wants Jaeger bombs? Line them up. You know what I mean? Like, let's go.
It's a Brad and Chad drink.
Followed by crickets.
Yeah. I
think
know.
Four Loko too definitely more so works with this complexion. I don't know if that
Four Loko was something that was prevalent in the community, though. I'll be real, man. Like, so it was
part of the culture.
After they changed it, after they changed the original, recipe to something else,
a little safer.
Like, it was Four Loko used to
safer.
go hard. Like, I never had one. I was never, because I'm not number one. I don't
you
like.
Missed out.
I always talk about Joe because every morning Joe has this. It used to be Rockstar.
Yeah,
but now it's like the Mountain Dew energy drink, and I'm like,
oh yeah, Mountain Dew
like,
amps, baby.
Yeah,
they brought them back. Couldn't be happier.
I don't like Red Bull. I don't like any of that stuff and everything like that.
No vodka Red Bull for you?
No, thank you. Pass.
Yeah, no.
Pass.
Look, at some point, everyone has had a Mad Dog. Everyone's had a Four Loko, and then the last key point on Jaeger bombs: if you're gonna go to afters, you got to have You got to have a Jaeger bomb at like midnight. So, but the most you should ever have when you're drinking responsibly, because that's what we all do here, is you shouldn't have more than one, probably.
That said, who wants some whiskey? It's 9:44, so it's 10 o'clock somewhere.
In Bailey's?
That was literally a question that was asked during the commercial break by one Rashad. Do you want some whiskey?
So listen, I have it from last night, and it was one of those things. It was like I didn't want to leave an almost entire bottle of whiskey. It was like, I might as well just take this as well.
All right, so
there's a beer in here.
So, that was from given to Jordan from Patrick. That Jordan clearly didn't even open.
No.
Didn't even take a sip.
It's been in here. I came in Thursday morning, and it's been in here since then.
Unbelievable.
So
next,
beer.
Yeah, next, let's get back on the clock. We either talk about Rashad's possible alcohol problem,
I don't have a problem, Joe.
Or All-Star Saturday, because we need to fix some things, and we're going to do that next here on Sports Sunday on 1080 The Fan. Competition, which basically half the dudes weren't taking serious. Anthony Edwards was shooting left-handed at one point. Scotty Barnes threw up a half-court shot backwards. So there was that. So guys clearly taking that serious. Victor Wembanyama was not, I'm not going to say not happy, But he said about his teammates who were Paolo and Anthony Edwards, he's like, yeah, looks like they were just trying to have fun out there. Fun is winning.
Yeah, I mean,
So he's got that.
he knows
pop,
what that is.
He's
now.
got that pop mentality already.
Yeah, he knows what that is now. You know, he had an interview prior to the All-Star festivity starting with Chuck and, Ernie and all those guys. And you can tell how much losing is affecting Wemby at this point. I mean, seriously, he's probably never lost in his life. Like, it's probably been all W's for most of his life. And so now to be in a situation where you're losing, when I get to this All-Star thing and I want to show everybody how cold I am, I don't need you full shooting left-hand three-pointers and backwards half-court shots.
We also had the three-point competition, which Reggie, just stop. Reggie Miller, after it ended, he just goes clamoring on saying that this is why this is the premier event of All-Star Weekend.
He's not wrong.
He is.
He's not wrong.
Okay,
it's become it.
It's not. He's not wrong. The
No,
dunk
it
contest
hasn't.
In the last 2 to 3 years.
It is not.
I'll go even further than that. I think it's for a while. Number one, the dunk contest could be great. Right? Last year it was great. Depending on who's in it, it could be great. If Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine are in it, it'll be great. But for the most part, like the dunk contest, there's no other hit or miss event in all of All-Star Weekend than the dunk contest. The home run derby, you know what you're going to get every year from that. You might get somebody doesn't perform as well as you thought, but somebody's going to kill in the home run derby every single year. The skills competition for hockey, stuff like that. The dunk contest is.
I'm sorry. There's nothing in the 3-point contest that makes me go, oh, damn, he made another 3-pointer.
The fact that they have stars.
Wow, he made another 3-pointer.
The fact that the stars of the NBA are the ones that are in the 3-point contest is the issue.
Well, I will say that is the biggest problem is that I don't know what the NBA has to do to incentivize some of these bigger names to start doing the dunk contest. Because, they have no problem doing the 3-point contest. So, why are we not able to get guys to do the dunk contest? Like, Mac McClung, I give a flyer to because I remember seeing that dude and his YouTube highlights back when he was in high school, before he went to Georgetown. Like, so when they said that this 6-foot white guy from the G League is going to be in the dunk contest, I was like, oh.
We have to see it.
Oh, he's good. I was like, I'm okay with that. And let's be honest. I mean, he's won it back-to-back times, and he has been dominant in both times. Like, he has been amazing in both those dunk contests. The problem is like last night you've got him and you've got the other Toppin brother, Obi Toppin's brother, which I didn't even know he had a brother. I clearly don't watch New York Knicks basketball enough. How many minutes is he getting? How many minutes a game is Obi Toppin's brother getting? Jacob. See, I forgot his name, and I just watched him last night.
Ooh, I don't know. And I think that's the big thing. Like, Mac McClung doesn't even get NBA minutes.
He's played in 5 games this year. 5.
And that's the best that the NBA could kind of come up with. And I think that's my issue, and that's most people's issue.
5 games played, 6.6 minutes.
You look at the dunk contest of the past. Even after the Vince Carter one, you got Desmond Mason and you got Jason Richardson. That was an amazing dunk contest.
Dude, Jason Richardson was nasty.
Yeah, he was sick. Like he was crazy. But you were able to get some of those things. But really, after 2000 or after that one with Vince and T-Mac and Steve Francis and all those boys, the stars of stars don't compete anymore.
Well, and
there was 3 dunk contests where Jordan and Dominique were all in it.
Even if you don't have stars, I mean, like you have a Nate Robinson who is 5'6", defying the odds. Which, have you heard about Nate Robinson?
Well, you had
by the way,
which part?
Dude, the guy has like straight up like liver failure and kidney failure.
Yeah, he's on dialysis.
And he's on dialysis like 3 times a week and needs a kidney. Yeah, it sucks to see, man.
That's
Getting
terrible,
old
man.
sucks.
But with that dunk contest, you had Dwight Howard too, though. So you did have a star. And then like Nate was a little bit interesting. The LaVine Gordon dunk contest. Those are 2 good ones. Now, I wouldn't say that they're stars, right?
But I would also say like one of the best dunk contests we also had Derrick Jones Jr. in it. And because that dude is just a straight up leaper and can jump out of the building.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was saying last night on Twitter, it's like if Mac wants to come back to try to defend his crown for a 3rd time, I'm cool with it. But you give me a field that has to be infinitely better than what this is this year. You need to give me Mac McClung, Ja, Shaden, and like Zion or something. Like,
I think there needs to be an incentive. It needs to be at a $500,000, $1 million incentive. Like you're giving and this is the
not
NBA.
even for winning, just participate. Like slide him a check under the table. Like Ja, please be in the dunk contest. Nah, I don't really want to do it, dude. Here's $500,000. Here's $1 million. Like just please, like something.
That goes straight to you. But I don't know, man. The dunk contest has become secondary almost. It goes on last because it could be exciting.
Well,
right? It could be the most exciting part of the night, or it could be a big wet fart to end the night. And that's kind of what it's been a lot of the time. Like, when there's imagine leaving a game or leaving an event like that's been all energy all night, and then everybody leaves kind of disappointed because that was weak.
Well, also, I think the judges are also taking some steam away, too. Like, the way that they judge some of these dunks, too, it's like, Mac McClung, his first dunk was an easy 50, but because it took him a second time to pull it off, you saw the one that I'm talking about where he jumped over it, grabbed the ball, let it go, and then grabbed it again and reversed it. It's like, if it is his 8th or 9th attempt at that, and then he finally gets it, dock him for it. But he got it on his second attempt in, I forget who it was. He treated it as if he was like, I'm giving that a 46 because it took him a second time. It's like, what are we doing? Yeah, no. So, I mean, the judges definitely have to go. Kenny Smith, for sure, has to be retired from that position. Like, well, I can't.
It's over, ladies and gentlemen.
Do we have the audio?
Yes, we should do it next.
All right. Let's do it in the next hour, the beginning of the second hour, because, I mean, this wasn't just in the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, but it trickled into the Steph and Sabrina contest. Reggie and him both were driving me nuts last night. Like, I'll give Reggie props in the next at the beginning of the next hour, but that's one way to fix All-Star Weekend. Get some new commentators in there. You want to talk about paying people? Pay Charles whatever he wants to be on the call. Because listening to those two talk over each other,
KG and Paul Pierce to do it,
and fail at math. Also, like them trying to do math real time during the 3-point contest, it's painful, absolutely insufferable to listen to.
Yeah,
like they don't even know who has what amount. And they're like, oh, he's gone. He's gone, Kenny. Yeah, he's eliminated.
He needs this one, no, and he still gets 26. And
it's just like, oh, dude, and that's the worst. They have like 2 racks left. Oh, he needs to make every single one of these. He's like, no, actually, he just needs like 6 of them, and he's going on to the next round. And then they make a starry ball. Oh, he needed that. It's like, well, no, he didn't. He's actually having a pretty good round, and he actually only needs like 2 more makes, and it's bad.
It's irritating. I can't stand listening to those dudes, and I love both Reggie and Kenny. But during the All-Star, seriously, but during All-Star Weekend, it's like, Kenny, please shut up. Please shut up, bro. Put him on mute.
And we'll start hour number 2 here with audio, because I think that 99% of people listening to the Sabrina Steph 3-point contest, which we'll talk about that, because I thought that was one of the highlights of yesterday too. But 99% of people listening to the broadcast were telling Kenny, oh my God, please shut up. Cut his mic now. Cut his mic now.
Go to break. Go to break.
And that's what we'll do. We'll go to break. We'll start hour number 2, only 30 minutes, because we don't have a Daytona 500 to get to after this. But we give you 30 minutes of Sports Sunday. Next, hour number 2, Joe Fisher, Rashad Taylor, Will Ortner sitting in right here on 1080 The Fan. contest is better than the 3-point contest. It's settled.
I think they're 10, and they don't know what they're talking about. So there, take that, Joey, and your little buddies.
Wow, just insulting a 10-year-old? Well, I did insult like a 7-year-old at a Blazer game
and listen,
a couple weeks
anybody
ago.
can get it. Anybody can get it. Don't care how old you are. Yeah. Why is that baby looking at me like that? Yo, get your boy, dog.
You going all Will Ferrell? Oh, you're going all the dude guy in Real Bros of Simi Valley?
Yeah.
Get your dog,
get your boy, dog.
You've known him for like maybe a year.
Yeah,
maybe for a year.
Maybe.
He's my son.
Yo, tell him to stop looking at me like that.
Why is he looking at me like that?
That's so good. All right, we got some audio to play because there was a new event on All-Star Saturday, which I think they need to bring this back next year once Caitlin Clark gets into the league. Maybe make this a thing. Whoever the top shooter is in WNBA, have them go up against like Steph or Dame or something like that.
Say they go twos.
Like 2v2, like blacktop.
Not like actually playing against each other, but yeah, get two women. So Caitlin and Sabrina against Steph and Clay, Dame, whoever else.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I was going to say, boy, if you want more Kenny Smith opinions, have them play 2v2 blacktop style. Because, Kenny Smith, boy, the 3-point contest ends, and Sabrina barely loses. I mean, we're talking the final score was Steph 29, Sabrina 26. Sabrina went first, and I think she made 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 out of her first shots. Like, I even kind of got up off my couch a little bit like, oh, okay, we might have a game here. And then Steph closed his round out extremely well, just being Steph Curry and making damn near everything, and ended up winning. But Kenny Smith felt like that there should have been a different format and a different way for Sabrina in order to win this, and I cannot believe he went down this road.
I think she should have shot from her. She should have shot from the women's line. That would have been a fair contest. I still root for Sabrina.
We all are rooting for Sabrina.
No.
This is not.
She should have shot from the 3-point line that the women shoot from.
Why are you putting those boundaries on her?
That's not a boundary. That's what the game is.
She wanted to shoot.
They have a smaller ball, don't they?
She shot with the WNBA ball.
WNBA ball is smaller.
She shot with the WNBA
ball.
She
should have shot from the line. There's a women's tee in golf and there's a men's tee for a reason.
No. She a shooter shoot. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, but they shoot from where they shoot from. Thank you.
No.
Sabrina,
good job, Sabrina.
No,
but don't let any man put boundaries on you like him.
Well, then give him a regular ball then.
Don't let any man put boundaries on you.
Give him a regular ball then. It's not fair.
Curry
I disagree.
made 8 of the 9 balls to beat Sabrina.
So I think Kenny's goal there was to say that it wasn't fair for Sabrina because she shot from the men's 3-point line, which she ended up scoring 26, which was the same score that Trey and Dame and Kat and I forget who else all scored in the first round of the actual 3-point contest. So it sounds like she didn't really need to shoot from the women's 3-point line. But I can't believe that he ended up doing that. Like in a moment where it's basically like, let's try and bury all those tropes about women are, not as skilled as men. Like Sabrina's jumper is clean as hell. Like it is again, I was impressed as hell watching her do that. And you want to talk about pressure. Like, how many 3-point like, Steph didn't even have to do this, right? Like, how many 3-point contests has he won? How many All-Star? Like, here is, the first women ever to participate in any All-Star Weekend event?
Well, yeah, they used to have a little 2-ball event, and they would have a WNBA player and, like, a retired NBA player
get
together. But other than that, yeah, as far as, like, an actual, like, event, yes.
And she steps up there and nails 26? Like... Pretty damn impressive for her to do that. But it was almost like, Kenny, no, what? For the second time, oh, no, baby, what is you doing?
Yeah, number one.
Reggie just clapping back at him was the best part about that.
Now, number one, remember this. Remember who Reggie Miller is. Remember who his sister was.
Yeah.
So the fact of, like, knowing a woman can shoot from NBA is like, yeah, Reggie's like, yeah, this is, we know Sabrina can do that. We know she can shoot from there. I mean, Kenny, this is one of those times where he wants to be the smartest guy in the room. I think when you have personalities like Shaq and you have personalities like Charles, and they're bound to say some goofy stuff. And it's one of those, I mean, players mess up, but it's one of those things like Kenny often feel.
I think I caught it.
I hope so. But Kenny,
I think I caught it.
Kenny often wants to feel like he's the smartest guy in the room that's not Ernie. So he'll try to break things down, and a lot of time he's wrong. And so this is one of those times where you know that Sabrina it can shoot like that. You know she can shoot the lights out from everywhere. So the fact that she decided to shoot from NBA 3, because I'm pretty sure they asked her, are you okay with shooting from the NBA 3-point line?
From what I understand, she said that she wanted to shoot from
there
the
you go.
NBA.
And again, like you said, she ended up with 26. Like Karl Anthony Towns, who won last year, ended up with 26. And 3 other guys ended up with 26. So she is as good a shooter from that range as 4 of the guys that could have won last night. That's impressive, man. So this is, again, why I think Kenny Smith just needs to be replaced on All-Star Saturday night. I'm not sure why. He's the guy. I'd much rather hear KG and Paul Pierce. Give me KG and Paul Pierce.
You put KG.
You're for sure going to need a dump button for those.
I was going to say, if you put KG on there, he might pull you.
You're for sure going to.
Hey, I'm surprised it wasn't me. I have had many moments where it is right there about to slip. Yeah?
I got it.
You checked the tape. We're good.
I got it.
Here's a cool part. You know that's never happened in almost 10 years?
That's pretty impressive.
I'll take it.
I'll tell you what. I've only had to dump 2 people now. So you and the great I. Everett Ropp.
See, exactly. You
joined the club.
And mind you, I've known.
Yeah, it's almost should be. We should hang it up in the rafters here.
And I caught both of them.
Dump button had to have been dropped. I remember listening to the first time Jason Sukanik had to get his.
It shocks me he doesn't drop more.
No, yeah, really.
It also shocks me.
I'm sitting listening most days here it comes. This is where it happens, Sue.
Oh, listen, I talked to Sprague about this a couple weeks ago. I'm like, buddy, I am surprised I've made it this far, and it's only happened once to me. And it didn't even happen in studio to me. I was on the phone with them, Dirt and Sprague. I did a call-in because it was the day after I played Eastmoreland Golf Course. And it did not go well.
Been there.
Might have hit someone's windshield on the very first tee.
Hell yeah.
Tight.
Yeah. No, it was
that's dope. That's how you want to start.
It was one of the first rounds of golf that I played when I was getting back into it around COVID time. And sliced the ball right onto Bybee Boulevard.
Well, Tiger shows you that players mess up.
Hey, it happens, right? It happens. And
it happens.
We finished the first, because we started on the hole 10, and then we get to the hole 11 tee box, and we're going down, and we start to walk down, and then 2 golf carts are approaching us from a distance. And we're like, what do they want? And sure enough, one of those golf carts was a driver of a car that was going down Bybee Boulevard and told me that I had struck her windshield. And but then in retrospect, I should have just played ignorant, because they asked, they're like, did someone just slice a ball off the last tee box? And I was
I don't know. I saw it too.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, I'd be
You
like,
have to pay for it?
I'll let you know if I
What?
find out who did it.
yeah.
That's dumb.
No, I recommended a good glass shop that I knew was going to be cheap. I was like, go to these guys. I know this isn't going to burn a hole in my pocket.
Go to Uncle Steve's.
Exactly. Here, take this guy's number and call him.
I know it's going to look shady, but it's not.
But yeah, and then I was talking about the round the next day on Dirt and Sprague. I think it was they were doing the what's the hit? Damn, that they do where they have people from different
Crunch?
No, where they're I don't know what it's called, but they called me, and I was in my home talking on the phone.
The Daily Ticker.
Yes, I was part of the Daily Ticker, and I was giving them the recap of my round, and I mean, you're in your house, you're on the phone, you're kind of flowing as if it's a regular conversation, and bam, that's where it just came out,
It happens like that sometime.
It happens.
As long as I don't do it at church or
It's too bad it didn't happen to Kenny Smith last night, because now we know he wouldn't have been on the All-Star Saturday broadcast going forward.
No, they would let him.
Yeah.
they would continue. Wemby let one slip yesterday.
He dropped a hard F-bomb.
Yeah.
A hard F-bomb. He stuck the landing.
Yeah, right? He made sure he got every single...
This is
I was
Michaela
wondering, I
Meisner.
was like, is this an alternate stream like on the Bleacher Report app on like HBO Max
Yeah,
or something like that? That's he can say that? And then I was like, oh no, there's Chuck and Shaq and Ernie. Yeah, this was on TNT. Like,
He's French. There are different rules in
Yeah,
France
right?
for TV. Like, he didn't know.
that's not a cuss word over there at
It's
all.
not.
Yeah.
No, they say another word over there that we definitely don't say, even not on radio. So.
Naysayer?
No, not that one.
Okay.
That's just Jalen Milrow.
Oh my God. So unfortunately, Kenny Smith is probably going to be on the All-Star Saturday broadcast next year. I mean, I was trying to think of alternate options to those two, Reggie and Kenny. KG would be fun, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I really don't know who to sub them with. Just figure it out though, and get those two guys off. Don't do Draymond for the love of God.
No, but I think KG would, even if it's not Paul Pierce, because Paul Pierce can be very irritating sometimes. But give me KG.
Yeah, he says some out of pocket.
Give me
stuff
KG and
that,
Reggie. I'll go with that. That could be fun.
KG and Reggie.
Yeah, I'll go with that. That'll be fun.
Well, good for Reggie for sticking up for Sabrina and saying something. That's the only tip of the cap I'll give to him, because he is, bro. They're just them two together yelling over each other on the All-Star broadcast.
I love Reggie Miller though. I can't help but to love Reggie.
I do. There is a drop of him somewhere in the library of when they were doing a game in Portland. And they were doing like some B-roll in between commercial breaks or going to commercial break. And Kevin Harlan's like, "Oh, Voodoo Donuts, Reggie." And then Reggie just, "Delivery, please." The way he says it. Again, he is like, he's a cornball, but it's in a sense where it's like,
it's lovable almost. Like, okay, you're so corny, bro.
All right, let's wrap things up next. Let's talk about sporting events that we used to care about that we don't care about anymore, like the Daytona 500. I used to care about it. Talladega?
Only Daytona I recognize is Pusha T.
Hey, that was a great album.
That
was a great album. All right, wrap things up next here. Sports Sunday, 1080 The Fan. What's old?
Delivery, please.
The one thing that Portland's known for outside of Portland is those damn donuts. I was on a meeting earlier this week with some people from, I think they're in the Chicago, suburbs of Chicago, on the Zoom meeting. And the dude, straight up, he goes, yeah, Portland, I didn't know that this was also from there, but yeah, the Voodoo Donuts. And I'm just like, bro.
You got to act like you like Voodoo Donuts. Like, yeah, it's
I'm like, oh, yeah,
really good.
Voodoo Donuts. And then that's where I'm just like, yeah, we have a lot of better donut places out here, believe it or not.
Voodoo is the one.
They got one by the Vancouver Mall now, Jump the Shark.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like nice. It's in a nice spot. It's like Voodoo's supposed to be in a bad part.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in kind of a shady
Yeah, it's supposed to be by the
next
bars.
to the Kit Kat Club.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a bunch of gum on the wall. It's not supposed to be a cool spot. It's all fancy and shiny. It's by the Vancouver Mall, so it's like there's no real issues. You're worried that maybe some Karen will walk in and be mad that there was no maple bacon bar. Doesn't work.
What do you mean you're out of glaze? Like, yeah, no, I don't know. I'll say this, and this is to no disrespect to anybody, but the most overrated donuts.
Oh, I made sure to tell him because again, I think they have one in Chicago now.
Come on, I went to Universal Studios a couple years ago, and one of the first things you see as you walk into the building is a Voodoo Donut.
Is Voodoo national now?
They got one in Denver, Boulder, 2 in Denver, 1 in Austin, 1 in Houston, 2 in Houston.
It's a good spot to have it in Denver.
Another in Austin, 1 in San Antonio, 1 in Katy, Texas. They got one opening up in Seattle, Dallas, Chicago. I just told him, I was like, don't ever get one with the cereal on it. It sounds like a great idea.
Be stale.
Yeah,
every single time.
It sounds like a great idea. Don't do it because it's like, oh, Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops, like on a donut. That sounds great.
It sounds great, and then you eat it, and it's stale as hell.
And here's the thing: it is great when you get it at 2 a.m. It's like there was a hot dog place in college out in Ellensburg, and it was right by the latest bar that would stay open. So you'd always go and get a hot diggity dog afterwards. And it was fantastic at 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. I remember I went there and I got a hot dog at like noon one day just because I was downtown. I was like, all right, I'm already here. I'll go get a hot dog. I love these hot dogs. It sucked.
Terrible.
It was horrible. Don't eat late night drunk food at a normal time.
Seriously.
It doesn't
Taco
work.
Bell is only good for me late night. I've never had Taco Bell at 3 in the afternoon. Like, man, that crunch wrap was delicious. Like,
Hit the spot.
Never ever. It's always when I'm super faded and like, bro, all right, man, these chicken nuggets go hard from Wendy's, but outside of that, but Voodoo Donut, like there's some things that are okay. They have a blueberry donut that's pretty good. The maple bacon, if it's, you kind of warm it up, it's okay. But for the most part, you don't like give me a regular donut.
You don't like the C&B?
I don't like the C&B.
The C&B's all right.
Yeah, I don't like the C&B.
I'm gonna be honest with that one. That one's been bought for me a time or two. The C&B's all right.
Just taking the whole thing. I'm sure. Is there cream in the middle of that?
Oh, in all of them. And I'll tell you what, I did not make the connection until the cream filled was bit into.
I think I've had this before.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking of Van Wilder myself. So like Voodoo Donuts, the Daytona 500, what other things do we not care about anymore?
The All-Star
Weekend.
Every All-Star event except for the Home Run Derby.
Yeah, we were saying that before the show. Is the Home Run Derby the best All-Star festivity in all of sports?
I'm a big fan of the skills challenge in hockey. I think that's super dope. But I think probably so. I think because here's the cool part. I won't watch the All-Star game for baseball in most cases. And because it's always something like on a Tuesday, like a Tuesday afternoon, bro, I'm at work. Like I got other stuff to do like most adults. So I'm going to miss the All-Star game. But the Home Run Derby, like I'll have a beer and tune in for that, like regardless of who's on deck. So
they usually get stars. I mean, think about it. Last year you had Julio, Pete Alonso, Adley Rutschman, Vladdy Jr., I believe. And so when you look at the Home Run Derby, we're complaining about with the dunk contest, they don't get stars anymore, or even up and coming guys who are going to be stars or could be stars. The MLB All-Star game, you've got old stars, you've got up and coming stars, and then you'll have one or two guys where you're like, I've never heard of that guy, and then they'll go rip off, 20, 30 home runs, and you're like, oh, maybe I should start paying attention to this guy who plays for the White Sox, who I don't pay attention to because they're not good this year, right? So I think they've done a good job of keeping their stars still playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, and that's what I don't get, with the dunk contest. Why is it the one all-star festivity where stars don't want to participate in? That they're just
I think it's hard to be creative now. What haven't we seen in the dunk contest? We haven't seen somebody go between the legs twice. But what haven't we? No, seriously, what haven't we seen in the dunk contest that's going to get you? You can do a dope ass dunk that, I don't know, Aaron Gordon did, where you jump over but we've already seen it. And so, what other cool dunks can you do at this point that we haven't seen?
You also have to be 100% that day, because everybody's had that day where, hey, I can touch the rim if I have a good knee day, but if I have a bad knee day,
I'm warmed up.
Right. If I have a good knee day, I can go touch rim. If I don't have a good knee day, I can't. And so I wonder if that plays a role too, where it's I could go and prep for this dunk contest, or I could go down to Cabo and rest and relax. And that's what I'd rather do.
Yeah, well, again, that's why start coughing up some money, NBA. Adam Silver
starts the only way.
Start slipping a check under the table to these guys because, but again, man, here I am pulling up and I was glad to see he was a judge for this last night. And granted, it was Indiana, and that's probably why they had him as a judge. But Fred Jones, former Oregon Duck,
Portland, Oregon,
2004. NBA dunk champion, who has one of my favorite dunks that I ever saw in a dunk contest. I think it was in his second round or something, but started from the right side, threw the ball off of the backboard, and then caught it with the left and slammed it. It was one of those oh my God.
Portland's own Freddie Jones, man. That was a great dunk contest for us.
I saw someone on Reddit call him Fred Wilson last night.
Yeah.
He went onto the Ducks subreddit and was Fred Wilson, former Ducks and slam dunk champion, as a judge tonight. And people are like, excuse me, who?
Yeah, no, Freddie Jones. And actually, Fred Jones's last dunk was an